Alright, so this is upper body. This is our second split of the week. So this is more back focused. We're starting off here with seated rows, 150 pounds. I've already done my first 2 sets here, and I also did a warm-up set at 100 pounds for just 5 reps, just to get the shoulders and elbows kind of ready for it. But first 2 sets, 12 reps. This set, we're shooting for another 12. Ooh. Woo. All right. So those there definitely have a bunch of blood rushing into the upper lats, a little bit of the rear delts. So targeting exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Next week, we'll probably go ahead and move up to like 160, 170. And then the week after that, that's when we get to move up again, probably to 180. I don't know if we'll go right to 200 right off the rip again. But week after next is when we get to start loading weights back on, bringing our totals back up here, and coming out of a deload. But for now, nice, just slow, squeezing, contracting reps, just focusing on technique and form, and just making sure everything's just feeling the way it should. So now that I'm done with these, I'm going to go ahead and get set up to do T-bar rows, and I'll bring you back. Well, we've got set up here. We've done our first 2 sets of 12. 90 pounds on the front of the bar here. We're going to knock out our third and last set of T-bar rows. And man, oh man, these things are feeling nasty. Back feels pretty pumped up as of right now. Loving it. So, we're on these reps, we're taking them slightly a little explosive, not extremely fast still, but putting some effort into it, getting a good squeeze, and just coming right back down onto the ground and resetting on each rep. So we're not stopping and hanging the weight, we're coming down, touching the ground, and then reset and pull. So almost like the same way we do our deadlifts, where each rep is its own individual rep and it's not holding the weight or anything. We're trying to bounce it off the ground. That way we can make sure we're not cheating these reps, and we're squeezing and contracting the back to get the most out of each one of these. So, we're working on our face pulls. We've got our first 2 sets of 12 done on these. And man, oh man, is it raining right now. It's actually picked up quite a bit. Unfortunately, it's supposed to rain for like 4 days, which kind of sucks. I was hoping to get some more yard work stuff done, get some more concrete forms ready to pour a few more curbs, but it is what it is, I guess, right? Mother Nature does its thing, and being here in New England, rains a lot. But it is what it is. If it's just kind of a little drizzly or something, maybe tomorrow I'll go out there and get some work done. Same on Saturday, if it's just a little bit drizzly, I'll get a little work done out there in the mist. It is what it is. It just sucks when it's just like raining. You gotta go outside and go do work in the dirt. But, oh well. Get it done either way, right? Just like our workouts, you know? Some days you just ain't feeling it, some days you are, but either way, you just gotta put it in. Get it done, go home. Even if, you know, you have an off day and you just kind of half-ass your workout, but you get through everything, fuck it, done. You did more than anyone who didn't show up to the gym that day. So, you're already ahead of the curve. Because definitely, the majority of life is having to do a lot of shit you just don't want to do and don't like to do. And sometimes, even if you like doing it, you might have an off mood, bad day, whatever. You're just not feeling it and you don't want to do it. But you just got to man up and get that shit done. So, let's go ahead and get this last set of face pulls done here. These are just for 60 pounds right now. Taking them nice, slow, and controlled. Getting a big contraction on them. Ooh. 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 Woo. So, getting those finished up. Now we'll go ahead and move on from here. Get on to the next thing. We're just going to keep knocking this day out. But, speaking of things that people don't like to do, what is it that, that you end up having to do on like a daily or a weekly basis that you just kind of dread doing, but you get it done, and then once you're done with it, you're like, all right, you don't have to deal with it again until tomorrow, from a week from now. Like, what is that task that just always has you mentally, like, flustered, just annoyed with having to do? Drop it in the comments if you made it this far and you heard that question. And if you are this far, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help this channel grow a little bit. We're here to make everyone do better and help everyone do better. So, if we can, eventually, have some big goals that I would like to be able to accomplish. But, we'll see where this channel takes us. But, I'm going to get on to the next movement. I'll bring you guys along for the last set there. Alright, so today's next movement up here after face pulls is incline bench. I went ahead and warmed up with 95, or the bar, and then 95, and now I've got 145 on here. I hit my first set of 145 for 8 reps. Now I've got a second set that we have to go 5 to 8 reps on, shooting for 8 again. It feels pretty light. I am actually enjoying the way this feels currently. So, starting off with the back and kind of tiring out the lats and everything, I can feel a lot more chest drive coming into it, and my lats are kind of hanging in there, just kind of keeping me stable enough. But I'm not getting a lot of drive out of the lats down in the hole, which is kind of nice. I can get a lot more load into my chest this way. So I've never really noticed that or thought about trying to train in this specific order. Normally, something like this, compound lift would be the first thing on the list. So, I guess there is benefits to, pre-fatigue and things like that for certain times in your training, not all the time. I mean, if you're doing it and your max bench is like 135, 155, something like that, you're not going to benefit from pre-fatigue. Like, you need to get up under that load and start getting that pressed up. It's going to start benefiting you, in my opinion, when you start getting above like 315 in a bench or something, you know. Unless you're a real smaller dude or a chick. And then, you know, maybe around like 255, 245, right in that ballpark. If you only weigh like 130 pounds, 140 pounds, then getting into that like area of pre-fatigue and then benching so you can bring the weight a little bit back down is going to be beneficial, you know, because your body's not quite designed to be pushing insane amounts of loads in that aspect. It's same as, you know, when a dude weighs 300 pounds and he can bench press, say 550 or something, you can't sustain benching 550 all the time. So you want to pre-fatigue and then be able to work at like say 315, 365, maybe 405 when you're a 300, 350 pound dude. So with that, let's knock out this last set of incline bench. Where's my rings? There it is. Alright, nice 8 easy reps there. Can't complain about that. Contraction feels great, slow and controlled. It's definitely why I'm not using the catch arms for this today. I didn't set them up. It's pretty lightweight. I can just about, if I was to somehow fail on that, I could just let it rest on my chest for 30, 40 seconds and then press it back up. Or if I really needed to, I could just drop it in my lap and then stand up. So it's really not a big deal. So for that there, caution can go to the wind. But with that, now we've got across the chest presses. So let me go ahead and get the bench and the cable set up to do those. And we'll get those knocked out. And then we get to start going into curls, tricep extensions, dips. So this and probably rope curls are, and the seated rows are probably my 3 favorite exercises on today's group, like little training session. Those 3 exercises I definitely very much enjoy doing. The way I feel from them, the pump I can get from them. You know, if I just want to bang out set after set after set of those movements, I could do just those 3 and feel like I got a crazy freaking workout in. But let's go ahead and get on to those across the chest presses and keep this moving. Alright, so I've knocked out my first 2 sets of 12 on the crossover press here. Got a crazy chest pump going right now. Taking these things just nice and slow, getting a real hard contraction on them. Just like everything else right now. I'm kind of repeating it because I want you to think about training in that same type of style if you haven't, just to give it a try. I'm not saying it's the best because sometimes it's not. It kind of has its places, but you know, if you're a little stagnant right now in your progression, switch it up, give it a try, see what you think about it. If you do give it a try, go ahead and comment later on another video the day that you decide to try it on. So I'm interested to see what your guys' opinions are on changing up your training styles and just trying new things here and there. But man, I love the full stretch and like the complete range of motion you can get on these things. Because you're starting way out here just like you're down in the hole on a bench press. But you're ending way over here, further than you even do in a fly. So you get that load under the stretch. And then that full contraction just coming all the way into the center of the chest, deep into that sternum. boy, oh boy, will it give you a pump. All right, so these are only at 30 pounds. Nothing crazy. We could knock out 50s, maybe even 60 pounds on this, but since we're currently in a deload, that'll come again in time. So I'm going to assume, 60 pounds or so, that'll probably come in around mid-November, maybe Thanksgiving time. So, because the weights are going to ramp back up here basically the first week of October is the way we kind of have this laid out. And it's going to be awesome. So that first week of October we'll add, probably 10 pounds to just about everything. And then probably every other week we'll go ahead and add another 5 or 10 pounds depending upon what the lift is and how it's feeling. And we're just going to keep working it up using this training block style and see how our progression occurs using the same progressive overload technique as we did with the last block. But now instead of doing a 5-day training split of like chest, shoulders, back, arms, and legs, now it's the upper lower split with a makeup day and a miscellaneous kind of lacking muscle day on another 5-day split, but we were only taking no rest days and then 1 rest day at the end of the other split. This split is giving us 2 rest days. So we only train each one of these days once in a 7-day period. Instead of like last time, within 7 days of each other, you're doing it twice. But we're feeling good about this. Even currently under the deload, I'm getting really, really good pumps, good stretches, good range of motion. None of my joints are hurting anymore now. Everything feels fluid, no popping and cracking in my shoulders and wrists, elbow. So, no funny noises out of my left knee. My left ankle's a little sore and tender, but that one's got some issues with it that I've had since I was a little kid, but it is what it is. But now that I'm done with these, we're going to move into curls. I think the first up is preacher curls. So I'll go ahead and get set up on those. Well, we've knocked out our first 2 sets of preacher curls. Just a 15-pound dumbbell. It's really not heavy by any means. This kind of just feels like I'm more or less going through the motion, which it's okay. No big deal there. I'm able to get a little bit of a squeeze, a little contraction. So the next curl after these is going to be rope curls. That's where we're going to get a much bigger pump from. So this is just working on technique, more or less. And this is for 3 sets of 15. That's what we're doing these for today. Alright, so with that finishes up our preachers for the day. I've already got rope curls set up, so I'm just going to jump right on into those after I put this away. I'll bring you guys back for the last set on those. And then we get some triceps with some tricep extensions and dips to finish us off today. So we're almost done. 3 more movements and we're killing it. Man, oh man, that wind and rain is picking up even more. I'm sure you guys can hear it all crazy in the microphone. It gets pretty loud in here since this is just like a plastic shed, just closed cell foam. So it kind of like drags the noise in. But what do you guys think about the rain? You like your stormy days? I like the rain unless I have stuff to do. Since originally I'm from Southern California where it never frickin' rains, like 3 times a year. Now it rains like 3 times a week. So it's much, much different seeing everything normally be green versus I grew up in the desert of Southern California. So, but we're on to our 3rd set of rope curls. Oh, we're going to throw in some extra ones. Ugh. Ugh. Woo! I do love me a good set of curls. Normally rope curls are my favorite ones, are like really heavy, pronated grip, easy curl bar, because those are super heavy. Those are my 2 favorite curls. Because they don't make my elbows hurt, my wrist doesn't hurt too bad in those positions, so it's real enjoyable to do them, and the pump and contraction I can get from them is better than the rest of my bicep movements. But with that, I'm going to get switched over to preacher curls, or not preacher curls, try press downs. I just did preacher curls. I think I'm going to throw the easy curl bar on there, and we're going to hit them with that. The attachment for it. Or you know what? We'll hit it with the 90-degree triangle. That's what we'll hit it with today. So that way we can really focus on that squeeze. So, alright. So, whew, I've knocked out my first 2 sets here. Just 40 pounds. Again, just working with that deload. Really, really hard contractions. And definitely have a bit of a tricep pump. So, last set of 15 reps here. We might go for 20 on this set, just because it does feel fairly light, but we'll see how it feels. Ooh. 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 Woo! Man. Triceps are another one of those muscles that just feel awesome when you get them pumped up. Especially if you can start getting that big horseshoe to start showing up, and you can see it from the side here when that big tricep muscle starts just building up, getting some thickness. I get excited about that. I definitely am genetically blessed tricep wise, just not biceps. So I don't have to work very hard for them to get really big, but I do like pushing them because the pump they get It's way better than any bicep pump. So, but with that, I've got to go ahead and get set up for dips. Then we got to knock out our body weight dips and we're out of here. Alrighty, y'all. So, on to my last set of dips here. And man, oh man, these things are a struggle. It doesn't help I'm a fat ass. So, granted, I weighed in at 204 and a half this morning. So, not too bad for kind of eating like crap for, I wouldn't say really like crap, just kind of enjoying what I'm eating for the last 20 days, because today's day 140? No, today's 141 I think. I don't know, one of the two. Said it at the beginning of this video, but I have definitely enjoyed the little break in diet since day 120, and I haven't really gone up too much. I went up to like 206, didn't really change anything, and I've come back down to 204 and a half. So I'm assuming that day I was just kind of bloated because probably I had pizza or something the day before. But one, that tells me my metabolism's increased and it's running faster than it was 140 days ago. And two, that tells me I put on more muscle mass, which has increased my base metabolic rate, which means I just burn more calories just existing. Which I know that's the case because my smartwatch tracks like body mass index, so body fat percentage, skeletal muscle, water, things like that. And I increased 12 pounds of muscle inside that first 120 days. So every 10 days I was able to basically build a pound of muscle. So that's not too bad, every almost a week and a half, or a week and a quarter I guess, week and a third. I will take that, especially because the only thing I supplement with is just creatine, which just kind of holds water weight in the muscle. That's more or less all it kind of does. Allows more nutrition and glycogen to sit in the muscle tissue, which allows you to kind of work out a little bit harder before you get fatigued. And then just BCAAs, pre-workout, and a pump. But that's all basically, well, the BCAAs can help with recovery, and then the pump and pre, those just help me push really hard in the workout itself and increase the amount of blood I can get into the muscle for a bigger pump. So, that is all I'm taking. I don't take any steroids, no SARMs, none of that. And then on top of that, I do deal with like low testosterone. Last year, when I went for my physical, I was down at 304. I started taking a daily multivitamin, Phyto Multi, nothing fancy there, just a really good daily. Fish oil, and taking a additional zinc plus copper supplement for an extra 50 milligrams of zinc and 2 milligrams of copper extra on top of the daily. And this year when I went for my physical, I was up at a 374, so I increased 70 points with basically kind of fixing my diet and just adding in some extra zinc, and which can help with men's health. So being able to do that with low T makes me feel very good, and that my genetic potential hasn't diminished too far from where I was, in my 20s. It's definitely less, because if I trained like this in my 20s, I would already be fairly shredded and probably would have put on quite a bit more muscle. But it is what it is. I will take it either way because progress is progress. So as long as we're not plateauing, I'm not going to try to do anything extra on the supplementation portion of anything. But let's go ahead and get this last set of dips done, because I am freaking pooped. I am ready to eat, and I gotta go do my evening cardio. Probably just gonna go for a walk out in the rain. Ooh. Holy crap. I definitely can say I would love to be like 20 pounds lighter just to do dips. 184, 185. Dips are a whole lot easier than being at 204. So, but hey, the more weight I've got to move, the stronger I'm going to get. So that's the way I'm going to look at it. Either way, it's making more progress. And when I first started this, I could barely do like 3 dips. Now I can do 3 sets of dips. So we are making that progress. But with that, make sure you guys are out there working on your goals. And most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.